Folks, as I had hoped, the protest among the NFL players is starting to take root. Now, as I had indicated prior, I have not watched a single minute of an NFL football game, and I will continue to boycott until the right thing is done by Mr. Colin Kaepernick. Now, a little history. This NFL preseason, Marshawn Lynch of the Oakland Raiders has taken a knee during the playing of the anthem. Last week, Michael Bennett also took a knee during the playing of the national anthem and then gave a press conference, and he explained eloquently exactly what he was doing, what he was not protesting against, which was the military, the flag itself, etc. He was protesting against the injustice perpetrated on people of color, and in particular black people. Well, this particular week, additional players have joined the protest. Now, I'm going to play you a video of from Sports Illustrated regarding the additions to the protest.
Season kicked off Sunday, September 11th, and the anthem protests came stronger than ever. The protests were started by 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick to bring attention to police brutality in the U.S. Sunday, Arian Foster and 3 Dolphins teammates took a knee, while the entire Seahawks team stood with arms interlocked, expressing unity as the pregame anthem played. Chiefs cornerback Marcus Peters raised his fist during the anthem before his game against the Chargers. And Thursday night, linebacker Brandon Marshall knelt during the anthem before the Broncos game against Carolina. For this, he lost his endorsement deal with the Air Academy Federal Credit Union. SI's Robert Klemko is reporting that there's an ongoing group chat with 70-plus players and vets discussing and debating what Cap started and what to do opening day. The list reportedly includes Kaepernick, Richard Sherman, Arian Foster, Michael and Martellus Bennett, and many others.
Now, what wasn't included in that particular video was the fact that 12 players on the Cleveland Browns also knelt over this past weekend. But the thing that distinguishes their kneeling down at the playing of the anthem was that 2 white players joined them in the protest. Now, the NFL's official position is that they are not against any player in the league who decides to protest in this fashion. But as far as them coming out and making a positive statement, they have not done so yet. Now, I'm waiting for the owners of these teams, who are all white men, to come out and either issue individual statements or public statements in support of the reasons for the protest. Okay, the reasons. Now, you have coons like Jason Whitlock, Charles Barkley, and Stephen A. Smith. And again, all 3 of them are coons. Jason Whitlock, that fat fuck, basically has stated on Fox News that how he can't understand why these players are doing what they're doing. And Charles Barkley is just a shill for white America at this point. He's in it for the paycheck, as is Stephen A. Coon Smith. What none of these individuals seem to realize is that this issue is bigger than the national anthem. And it's not even about the national anthem. The protests are not against the anthem. They are during the anthem, which will generate the maximum amount of attention. And the attention they want is to be focused on the issues that they are protesting against. Now, I honestly believe that the protesting during the playing of the anthem is apropos because of the history of the writing of the national anthem. And people need to look up the history of the anthem itself, and you will find that the anthem was written as a denigration against black Marines who fought on the side of the British in order to obtain their freedom. And they whipped the American sailors' asses to the point that Mr. Key, who was an officer in the U.S. Navy, had to sue for peace and went over to the commanders of the British naval ships and begged for the release of his sailors, which, because of whatever feelings that the British commanders had, they did grant his request and returned his sailors to him. But those black sailors whooped that ass, and he was so pissed off at them, that's why he wrote the national anthem. And if you ever have an opportunity to look up all the words within the anthem, pay special attention to the second stanza of the national anthem, and think about a man who's getting his butt whipped by black people, and why he's writing what he's writing. Hopefully this protest will take off during this coming weekend, and more players will join in this, to the point that Mr. Kaepernick gets his just due and an opportunity to try out and make a team. It's without a doubt that Colin Kaepernick is good enough to start on the bottom 10 NFL teams, and he is definitely good enough to be a backup quarterback for the next 20 NFL teams. But the owners have specifically admitted that they are not signing him because they don't want the headaches and the notoriety that are going to be associated with him as far as these protests are concerned. So my question is, now that other players are joining this protest, are you going to cut every last one of them, including some of your major stars, because you don't want the notoriety? The notoriety is here. The NFL owners need to sit down and make a decision to do the right thing, which is the right moral thing, which is to give this man a chance. That's all that I and others are asking for, because we believe that given a chance, with the talent that he possesses, there is no doubt in our minds that Mr. Kaepernick will be signed by an NFL team.